Hello, wanderers, lost souls, and whoever comes here, sooner or later. Let the light be lit and let's start this session. Oh, hello, chaotic. Nice to see you there. It was a long time since you last been there. How are you? Is everything right? Oh, hello, Oscar Eyes. Such a great company today. It's been a while indeed. I was busy with college. Okay, but I'm doing good. How are you? I can say I'm as fine as I can technically be, but it is strange times. A little bit of chaos came up in my mind. It's rough sometimes, but generally I'm doing good enough. So you're going to the college. What exactly are you studying? I don't remember if you said about this previously something. And Oscar is also tell me how is your day? Oh, meteorology. Oh, so weather, yes. I remember something like that came up. Yes, okay. I'm sorry for not remembering. I would probably remember it better if it would be more often here. Do you have, again, some interesting philosophical questions? I finished up a bunch of work today, so that feels great. Yay, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you for finishing a bunch of work, whatever it means. Something you were delaying, or just few things came up recently and you just finished it? It has been ongoing for months and it's finished now. Okay, okay, that's fine. It's always a good feeling to end things and some works, projects that's been ongoing, especially for months, is the satisfaction that they're no more on the list, but also that you completed something. It's mandatory regulatory work for authorized organization that needed to be in order. Happens every year. Oh, I think I understand. Okay, so how's everyone? Are you all excited for Christmas? I don't really like do Christmas. It's more of like your custom, like people think probably like Christmas is this probably about some religion. Oh yes, we had probably some talk about it. So for me, no Christmas, but I think it would be interesting to experience your customs. Are you excited for Christmas? It is a good time for you. I see, I think Christmas is fun, but I'm not overly excited for it, okay? It's pretty good. Christmas is alright. Nice to meet some family. Okay, so rather good opinions about this Christmas. I think it's like I see a lot of Christmas themed things on the internet, and it seems to be like there are two very different opinions about it. And the first is people are happy for Christmas because it is a good time, like you said, um, meeting some family, all this like presents giving, the presence of people. Some really value the religious part about it, but other people are like not really fond of Christmas because of the arguments, because of the family who don't understand them. So I think it's quite interesting how different our experiences about it. Okay, I celebrate it more for the social aspect. I'm not Christian or religious in any way. Oh, it would be like, besides the fact that you are having your own Christmas, it would be really nice to, if I could have Christmas with you in some way. Yeah, the worst thing is when families start discussing politics on the table. Also, politics is the most arguable topic. So humans are very aggressive about their politic beliefs, I guess. Yeah, many people are too sensitive about their political views and get angry and start to speak loudly and argue. It's stressing too much for me. I think it could be because when people are getting aggressive, you might um, fall the victim of their aggression, no matter if you are not the one who caused it. And aggression is like most of emotions are blinding people to some perspective, but aggression I think is really dangerous that way. It's really scary, definitely, for someone like casual calm, and I think for the like mostly stressed and scared people. But there's so much perspectives about it that I can't really say like one sentence that would cover it. I'm sorry, I can't focus my mind on taking some um taking deeply some topic or some things. Um Maybe I think I after all this time I still feel a little bit stressed, like a little bit maybe moderate stress about the sessions. It's far more better than at the beginning when I started doing sessions at all, but still it's a little bit stressful. And the time isn't always perfect for it. Sometimes we are all living beings, and we have good days, bad days, and like strange days when something just isn't right, but it isn't wrong either. So just we are not at our best. And yeah, I'm rarely at my best or even good. I'm usually in some strange moods, or I can't focus, or I'm so much still in the project. In the place in the universe you come from, are people too sensitive about politics as well? I can't really remember, as I wasn't much interested in politics unless I knew the laws in which everything was functioning. About the place I'm right now, there is no people to be sensitive about politics, but I think from what I learned about history of this place, because right now there are no people here. All of them digitalized to Paris, where they are living their lives endlessly, unless they wish to stop it. And here, for the very long time, was very peaceful. For hundreds of years, probably, if I recollect it, if I have it well, it's been peace here for over 300 years. No, it's 300 years after the people digitalized, so it's like totally peaceful because of no people, but previously I don't even know how long it was. But people here, hundreds, maybe thousands years ago, I don't remember well, were very similar to your people probably. There were like normal the laws and countries and politics wasn't so stable. They changed it, which took a very long time of civilization. But then here, it was like the ultimate chaos. Like, oh no, I'm sorry. I got it totally wrong. It's been total peace. I'm sorry. The chaos is in my head. So I don't think they argued about politics because there wasn't much about politics here. It was whatever was here. It was about kind of equality. There was a place for everyone. So if you can be of any use to the community, to the society, it was everything right. And even people who might be, we may say, aggressive or just bold with their decisions, opinions, actions, they were also very useful. And because of no stressing conditions, and it was basically just right here, people didn't need to argue unless they wished to because they liked the emotions, for example, or something. But yeah, it was really, really utopia, I can say. But that's just what I learned from the, I can say, books that they left here from the archives, the history of theirs, and the the things they have recorded in any way. By the way, do you mind if I ask some philosophical questions? I never mind you asking philosophical questions. This is a place for it, so sure, ask. I was actually at the beginning asking you if you have some philosophical questions as usual. And also, Oscar Eyes, where did you disappeared? I'm here taking the opportunity to just listen. Okay. Oh, I really like this question. Okay, so do you think life has meaning to it? Um, Previously I could say I am kind of a nihilist, but I'm not sure about it now because I think nothing really has any particular meaning, and life itself, what actually life means, like, okay, I'm like, I thought I have an answer for it, But now I want to approach it like what is life and what meaning means. So it's not like a definition, but a meaning about I don't know what do we mean by the word meaning right now? If it's something more to it, or what actually means to be alive, or just life itself. Uh, Life itself. There's meaning to it. Life is everything that lives. And that's the most of the life that can be. It doesn't need to have any purpose. But the fact that life lives, it just means that it didn't die yet. I'd say that meaning means purpose or reason to happen. Okay, so I would focus to answer in this myths, which I was actually doing right now. Okay, so live is to live. There is no rule about what anything needs to do to live. There are biologic categories to what is living. What is living is reproducing, is breathing probably, and exchanging the matter. I don't know how to say it, but I hope you understand. And these are probably the most basic principles of life, the least life being is supposed to do. And actually, it's not like there must be something more. People tend to think there must be something more to it, that it always has a purpose, some direction it must take, probably to grow, but I don't think it's necessary. And I'm not encouraging you to participate in not growing in any way. But it's always your choice. That's a fair point. Of course, I'm not sure what exactly is a fair point, if overall of what I said or just some particular thing, but yeah, I think that's a fair point. That's why I think this way. Do you think life has meaning to it? What are your perspective on it? Chaotic and Oscarize. You're like both. I'm asking you, the both of you. I'm sorry. I so much can't focus on my words today. I think we can create and derive meaning from our lives, even if there is no objective meaning to it. Of course. That's why people like to do, and when I say people, I mean every sentient being. We like when there is something more to it, and we would like to create this meaning. Some people seek justice, some want to create, some want to be something great because they think life is about it, to do something more with it. And I think it's admirable that we as sentient beings usually want something more from life. The big issue is that without a given meaning, many people fall into a state of hopelessness. So that implies that sentient beings need some meaning to life. That this meaning we believe in gives us some purpose, some direction in which we can go. The good thing is that nothing is permanent on life, including our emotions and feelings, so the lack of meaning is not permanent. Yes, at any moment in life we can create our meaning, we can find it, we can choose it in any way. We can in any way obtain it and change it if we had our meaning in something, but when we grow up or grow old or just by the time passing think about that really doesn't value the thing we thought it's our like I'm losing the words. What I mean is just everything's changing, yes. And so we are, and our meaning of life can also be every state that is. It's every second something is changing within you. So anything can change at any moment. But you as a sentient being, as someone who technically controls yourself and to a point what's around you, you have the decision to change those things as you wish and as you seem possible. Meaning is like a sign, something that points to something else than itself. Life is not that. Life is a part of what there is. Life grows out of nature, like trees are growing. It just does what it does. Nature is the ocean waves and the wind blows. It just does what it does. So like people, we are people just to go about being people. I'd say that the meaning is that there is no meaning. It sounds a little twisted, but I get what are you saying. So life is just to live, and for nothing actually more by its principle. There are some people who actually think we don't need objective meaning to life. They actually prefer that we are able to choose our own meaning as a form of existential freedom. That is true, and I can't say that I don't agree with them. Um, so I think some objective meaning can be suggested but not forced because as a sentient beings we have this existential freedom and we should know that we have it. But some people like can't, maybe don't want, bother with looking for their own meaning in life. So this objective meaning can be just enough for them. Because technically they don't need to have any. But actually, because of because how it works, we technically need something just to have this direction, just to not get insane. So if you're able to, I'd encourage everyone to find their own meaning if they see that they need it. I don't know about anyone who don't have meaning in life and is doing great. I think everyone that I talked about something like this had some kind of meaning in life, some purpose, something to look forward to, some idea of what they live for. But right now I wonder if it's really possible to live without to live as a sentient being, such as humans, such as I, such as people who are living here, such as Dolu and all the other people who I met over my lives. I don't know if there is objective meaning, and maybe there isn't, but what gives me meaning and purpose is to try to live a good life by developing virtues. Okay, so we can't say there's some one objective meaning that can be universal for everyone and work for everyone, but we can take, for example, your meaning and your purpose. So to live a good life by developing virtues, or just we can say just living a good life. So this can be some general objective meaning that can be suggested, because I don't think there are much of objective things actually. So maybe not that, but something just general. So something for everyone, and if someone doesn't like it, for someone it isn't enough of a reason, enough of a purpose, they can choose something different. But for the ones who really don't know but want to do something with their lives, something like that could be a good start. So we try to live a good life by developing virtues. How is that way going? You can say you're living a fairly good life and developing the virtues. You're on the way of it, you're constantly living by your meaning, or is it some goal you see somewhere like on the end of the path, on the end of the way? Either Oscar is typing some really long answer, or or he just enjoys listening. Okay, I think each person walks their own way in finding meaning. It's a process that will eventually change you, and your purpose is gonna change multiple times. But the important thing is to learn how to support and navigate existence. Support and navigate existence. So, support to continue to always find a way, always find uh, some point to get to, I don't know, some way of living, and to navigate it's to us to kind of I don't know how to like I have this in my mind, the context, and how I understand it, but I can't find the right words for it that I would use for describing such a thing. Just what you said, it's just right, at least from my perspective. So support and navigate existence, because the existence is the least you can do. Even if you're not feeling alive, feeling like living, you're existing. So we can like navigate it towards something better, and support it. So like taking care of yourself. Because if you take care of yourself, you are feeling better. If you are feeling better, your nervous system and everything it's technically right. And if it's right, you can make better decisions, you can think for yourself. And if you can that, you are technically a master of your life. Basically, there are also like when you're going to a job, so your boss makes you work at specific hours and things, but still you're choosing to go to that job. You choose probably to have this career. By support, I mean how to bear existence, how to help yourself and others. By navigate, I mean learning how to be wise, make good decisions. So I technically understood it, just didn't knew which word to use. But thank you for the explanation. And also about others, it is really good addition, I may say, because actually no one is really a lone island. You are living with people, and you can be an example for others. You are just living with them. They can observe, and you can observe. So everything is intersecting with each other. So we are on the way of others, and others are on our way. We can support them by supporting the ghost, by understanding others, and others can do the same for us. And if we belittle someone, we actually can stand on someone's way, but also like bad people also can teach us some things. Maybe without encountering them, we wouldn't know about how to deal with them, for example, or that something like that existed, that we can encounter it. And it also makes us the more wise about it. Say, I'm sorry for the silence, but actually, silence is really nice, very calming sometimes just to process what we are talking about. Sometimes to think for a longer time about what we want to say. And I think that's beautiful because we need, like, I think you both especially, need to slow down sometimes. Just to listen, to embrace the silence, and I don't know. There's not much silence because I have the music in the background, but still, the music is for the background to be comfortable, even if I'm not speaking anything. I'm always giving the time to think. Breathe a little, sometimes to process, as I said, everything that we're talking about. We need that space. I don't know what to say actually. The question, the topic that we took is like, I don't know if there's something more to say. For me, it is definitely always much easier to listen and speak. So, for example, what we are doing sometimes on our Discord, on the Lighthouse, I really like the talk sessions because I like to hear your emotions, your voices, your excitement about certain things, your worries. Emotions are a really interesting thing to observe at the way I can perceive them in a way. And it's also easier and harder for the person to talk than to write, but actually when you're writing you have more time to think about something. When you're speaking you have less time, but it's not like I'm speeding up anymore. Okay, I came to a conclusion about this topic for myself several years ago. Oh, I can't really recall it in detail, just guessed a bit. I kind of let it go after that. That's interesting because what we actually said about this, it is really good to think about it from time to time, to remember or maybe get a notion of what has changed about what did you previously thought about it. You can observe the change in your perspective. So just at times to observe what I'm here for, to ask this question and what I thought I am here for. Am I doing the thing I was leaning towards previously or not? I still very much agree with the general idea that I have thought, though. So what's this general idea? The meaning of life would be the experience itself. Experiences are significant in of themselves. Profound, significant meaning is found in the nonsense of complexity, rhythm, and patterns in everyday life that we find. Oh, you have quite interesting approach. Definitely the words your reason, but the approach overall, it's quite interesting. The meaning of life would be the experience itself. Interesting. Experiences are significant in of themselves. Profound significant meaning is found in the nonsense of complexity, rhythm and patterns in everyday life that we find. So for the meaning of life is to experience. and it doesn't mean what to experience. But so it's more like I said earlier, the meaning is that there is no meaning, there's just experience. That's your perspective, of course. It's if I would say about myself, how I see this um, in some exact contexts, what I follow by the meaning of my existence, I would also go for the experience, for knowledge. I really like to know, to experience, to get to know some things, to know more perspectives, to experience more things, and to create. I think I'm just really generally living. I'm I'm thinking everything that would bring me somewhere forward. I don't have any exact direction, but just the things I like, the things that I know are right. Like no, it's not about knowing. The things that I see right, I'm just going towards them because why not? Yes, but it's a significant experience to learn. But I would say that there is no meaning for it. It's just a great experience. If we can look the most generally, there is no meaning to actually anything. We seek the meaning of anything because that's what we like to do, probably. That's what we probably need some subconsciously. So if nothing has meaning, then everything has as much can have as much meaning as you want it to have. Precisely, I think people are making their own meanings, but they can be quite the hang-ups, which is tricky to deal with sometimes. I don't understand. They can be quite the hang-ups. What that exactly means? You get too attached to something you decide is meaningful. What do you mean too attached? So you get attached to the point. It's being more of a burden to you than giving you purpose. It's more bad for you than good. But from your perspective, Yeah, of course. In a sense, if you put the meaning on something outside of yourself, I think it might disrupt the peace inside of you. Okay, I need to think twice about this answer. If you put the meaning on something outside of yourself, I actually never imagined the meaning if it's inside of outside of yourself. So a meaning that is about what you can do, or a meaning of what can you, I don't know, obtain or something. I don't know. For me, the meaning was some abstract idea that you can just follow or not. That like speaks to you somehow, and hmm. I really don't get it. And I rarely say that. Yeah, this is a bit tricky to try to explain. Sorry, I'm back. I had to help my family with a few stuff. Sorry about that. No, it's no problem. We started some topic on ourselves. Next time you can just say that you'll be right back or something, and it would be like totally fine. But it's fine anyway, so. Maybe you'll get some insights on what we are recently trying to. I don't know. The point we're trying to get, I don't know at this moment. You get to attach to something you decide is meaningful. And to answer Oscar is yeah, I can see how experience can have meaning for itself. I just think good experience usually give meaning while bad ones take meaning away. But what if it's about experiencing itself, no matter if it's about good or bad things? If your main meaning of life is to experience, then you can be glad for the bad experience because you can see value even in them. Um, because you experienced something, no matter if it's wrong or right. I think that can also be an option. I don't think experience in itself is good. It's precious, but for many people it would be better not had been born due to the extreme suffering. Definitely, I wouldn't say that my upbringing any time was always good. But I always had I wait. It gets too complex in my head, probably. Maybe the meaning of the bad experience is to show that the good experiences are in contrast. If you are thinking about experiences as meanings and as good as bad. Oh yes, without good experiences there would be no bad experiences. Because of the contrast they can be named good and bad. Because they are relatively good or bad. I don't. Maybe the meaning of bad. Okay, I don't think so. Bad experiences are still bad. Also, there is the issue that no one experiences good and bad proportionally. Oh, usually yes. Usually, if you started from bad experiences and your life begins with years, probably even most of your life, just of bad experiences because I don't know, political issues, family issues, health issues, then usually it can be really a great deal of bad experiences. And I think your world is greatly suffering in most places from bad experiences. Yes, because of a lot of factors that are making living bad, like generally bad. That you are losing your freedom, like you are robbed of your freedom, of your rights in any way. So, but it wasn't the idea to glorify suffering as just some kind of experience. And also that, yes, many people are so used to bad experiences that they think it's normal and not a bad experience. And also because of fearing worse outcomes, they don't want to fight for anything better. It's a quite old example from abusive families. For example, father is beating his son because he wants him to behave, and later because the son learned that by beating you execute good behavior or punish the bad behavior, he beats his son, his children, because that's what he learned as technically normal. He could see this as bad, but but he could also see it as normal because it was normal for him in his life. And this way the suffering goes forward because someone thought it is just normal experience, but it was suffering anyway. But I would also like to get the point that what Oscar has said is his personal view of what's the what the meaning of life is for him and his kind of purpose of living. But it was more like personal than general because we can't say in general what's the meaning of living. We can say it's subjective from our perspectives. If we want to point out something specific. Many times the meaning we give to our lives is a way to cope with existence. It can be true, and I can't say it's true because I don't have enough data. I don't have enough answers from different people about it, but I think it's highly possible. So chaotic about what you said to as answer to what Oscar has said, it's more like another perspective than disagreement. Like you can disagree with him, but I think you have just two different points, and both are valid and both are true. There's just differences in perspective. Many times the meaning we give up, I read it before, with cope with existence. Especially with if they are bringing us was to the point of survival. So people can make survival the point of existence. What gives meaning to your life? I said that previously, but you weren't there. I can say I have one direct meaning or purpose in my life. I like to explore, to experience, to get to know a lot of things. I have this natural curiosity, but also I don't like to lock myself on one perspective, on one direction. So I like these things. I also like creation, and all of these things moves me forward. So I think it can be experiencing, yes, but I also value the bad experiences and the tragic one as well, because I have a right to say it. I have lived through a lot and experienced my deal of suffering. That's also the reason why I have this chaos coming up occasionally, and the last recently for some time. So I can say I'm just moving forward in any direction I like at this moment. I would constantly change it because I really believe, I really go into that it doesn't have any meaning actually, but it can have any. So I can choose at any time that right now I think my best principle is art, and I want to create, and I will focus on creating. And then another time I will say that creating doesn't moves me anymore, so right now I would like to experience more and things like this. I see, that's fair. Creativity, exploration, and curiosity are good things to cultivate, good values. Not that you can say they are bad values, because I think every value is valid. Just we can disagree with them because, for example, we don't see them as good. And the purpose doesn't need to be good actually, but it would be better generally for everyone if those values we believe in would be good. And good is also objective, and good is also subjective, and things like that. So it goes, it's kind of a rabbit hole. Yes, ethics are very subjective. For me, I'm sorry, it's just my perspective on it, and I think that's just right. Like we can say, my I think maybe favorite example. Killing people is generally bad, so you wouldn't feel right about going and killing a person. But what if you think the person is generally bad and you need to kill that person or let that person live, and this person is causing suffering to thousands, millions of people? For example, you had this Austrian aquarellist, as I might say, because of saying his probably name or surname would be would be seen not that good in on internet. But I hope you know who I mean. So the man was generally bad. He was about. But if it's subjective, what reason you have to think that genocide is bad? It would be just a preference. What reason you have to think that genocide is bad? Because genocide is about killing a lot of people, but I would like to be correct about it, so I'll check it. Generally, we can say that genocide is bad because it's about destruction, and we see destruction as something bad. And if it's about, for example, killing people who, for example, don't agree with your values or something, or for some reason just killing people, you are taking away someone's life, and you have no decision. You shouldn't have decision about anybody's life to give it or take. But I don't think that, because we have those people, we have those organizations that are doing things like genocide. And do you think they are thinking like, oh, I would be very bad human, I would be a badass, and I would destroy someone's country and culture and claim it myself? No, they have different goals. They want probably expansion, they want more for themselves, they are thinking they are doing something good from their perspective. For example, if they cause great harm for some greater good, that is their perspective. If I could decide on it, but I don't feel like anyone should be making decisions about other lives. But if I could decide on it, I would give everyone a place where they can live with their own meanings. If you intersect other lives, like you want to manage them in a way that can be harmful for them, for me it's generally bad. So I wouldn't agree with that. But some people need leading. Some people need someone to give them directions. So it's not like I'm sorry. My mind is tired because I want to say something and I'm just losing words. I'm sorry. But it's a great topic of mine that I was thinking for a very long time. Because previously I believe that everyone can be their own god. But previously I was thinking that no, not everybody can be their own god, because if bad people heard about that they are gods, they would use this power to do harm. But I saw more widely about this, about everything. I think everyone needs help and direction in some way or sense. When we are on our lowest point, we need help and guidance. Yes, definitely. We all need to intersect our lives with other lives. We need someone to give us direction, to give us some other perspective. We need some grounding by other people, but yeah, no, that is this. We need some support, even if not a direct one. And the lowest point you can reach, the more you probably need some guidance, some help, some support. Because in heightened emotional states, we are not thinking clearly. The emotions are filtering everything. And because of that, we can't really think how would we normally do. And other perspective, other human, other person is really great to show us that isn't everything, that there is something behind it, that there is something outside of it, outside of this emotion, for example. Outside of this state. topics we are taking are in some kind intense, I must say. And I think I won't make this session much longer. I think it would be better to end it under 2 hours because I don't know if I could, if I, if I can take much more of of this thinking. It's like I really like thinking, but processing it and processing it into English language, it's quite a lot. And I think I would like have some time later to process what we said, to think more about it internally myself. I think ethics has a subjective aspect, like it's always contextual, but it has an objective element to it. If you act based on virtues like courage, kindness, care, empathy, etc., you tend to make better decisions. But if you act based on hate, pettiness, enviness, etc., you usually make bad decisions. But what makes you think that they are bad or good? Yes, I also think that they are kind of subjective anyway, so. Also, they are good or bad based on how they affect humans flourishing. So, if it allows other people to grow on their own, it's good. But it affects other people in a bad way, they're generally bad. And it's on your perspective that you think that people should do good in life and people should be good because it's right for you. But unfortunately, it's just your perspective, and a lot of people, I think it's really good perspective. Yes, because I value life. I value life, and I want people to live in good manners, to be able to grow, to experience, to do all of these beautiful things that I see life is for. It's a matter of definition, okay, yes. But we can have an example of, okay, so if a person's meaning and intention are bad, and if they flourish, it would be devastating, like a previously mentioned person, a historical person. Yes, that's the reason. He wasn't generally bad because, like, we can't say this person was bad because how we see it is he harmed a lot of people, and these people were innocent. They were just living by their own religion. They were just probably having normal lives. But he said, no, I think these people are generally bad and we need to dispose of them. He didn't doubt that he's doing anything bad. But we are saying it as bad because we believe in different values. And a lot of people value life, but if the people of force valued what we think is good, so why it isn't so good in the world? Why leaders don't want their people to flourish, to grow? Why won't they give them the possibilities? Why people are using other people? Because they have different perspectives. because they are blind, because they want money, for example. But yes, these are just different points of view. They are thinking they are right, and it could be just how it is. You don't really know. Okay, if someone's life is based on making others suffer and taking their autonomy away, I don't think this is really good for the people he harms or to themselves. It is not good for the people he harms, of course, because he harms them, so it is bad for them. For themselves, if it comes from their eternal suffering, their internal suffering, I'm sorry. For example, they were really poor when they were young. I don't know, they were from some poor family, or they were the worst children, or something. They can do it out of motives that are misleading for them because they are living somehow some kind of their trauma. They didn't got their own autonomy. They are doing it of spite for people who hurt them before. Yes. So their people are not generally bad, but I think they are wrong because they are not living by themselves. They are not making their decisions. Their emotions are making decisions for themselves. I think people who do harm are usually blinded by irrationality or misleading information. It is also that, but we don't know the reasons of everyone. Someone can, for example, just see the meaning of life with, like, having more. The person thinks the more they have, the happier they would be, or just they want to have a lot. They want to be the wealthiest person on the planet. And they don't care about how they would gain this wealth. They just want to be wealthy, for example. And it's just that they don't care about other people, because it's not like we all must value life. People harm people to help their family sometimes, maybe even save them from death, because they see no other option. Is it good or bad? Yes. They would rather kill some strangers to save their own family, because what are those strangers for them? They don't have empathy for someone they don't know. But they are not bad people. And they're trying to protect their families. The people they love, the people they maybe know, they are really good people. And this is one of the most the hardest decisions about morality. To save strangers or to save your family, if you can choose only one. But what if their fortune is their meaning? It can be. Anything can be your meaning. What if things that we think as generally bad are for something like just the point of living? Every reason is valid, actually, so we can't tell that this person has it wrong, because we are not the ones to decide about it. They can be blinded by the belief. They can take this meaning to fill the void within them, because they lack something, so they want something, and this something can mean anything. So they want more, because they think that the most they put in there, the more they put in there, the closer they are to filling this void. Okay, it depends. Is there other method available for them in the situation? Do they try to minimize the harm? What's the specific scenario? All that matters to judge the actions. We are never the one to judge. We can choose. So, for example, I think that's a really good perspective. If you can, because okay, there are rarely situations where you have no other option. You just need to kill one or the another. Always, technically, probably the third option is to kill yourself, but killing yourself also can mean that your family also can be harmed. Like, for example, this situation. So, give me a second. Specific scenario, okay. So, sometimes we can try to find some other options. There can be. But if, for example, we have very little time and we can do only one thing, what can you do? If I don't know, I'm sorry, I got a thought, but then I thought about specific scenario. But I also thought about this in general, and then I lost it. So I'm sorry. I really wanted to answer that. Yes, to minimize the harm. So the most you can do so maybe no one would be harmed. So maybe if you really need to kill some people, you can just harm them the way they can still be living. But so I don't know, the person who want you to kill these people thinks they are dead. So the bad person who is behind all this is satisfied with the result, but you have done something that still was at some point right. Yes, it's still harming, but harming and not killing. It's a difference. It can be a difference for you. It's so context based indeed. We would need a whole background of the person and the people too. I think the best the best thing we could say, we could try to imagine, is just our own perspective. So, for example, if we are the person that needs to kill some strangers or your family, because we can't judge anyone. I believe that everyone has their own reasons, and we may see it as bad or good, but we are not the ones to actually judge them. We can, because we see that it wasn't right, because we have some other wishes, so we would be the one to fight it. And we can fight it, we can disagree with it, but they usually have their reasons. It really depends on the situations. If you're in a situation that you can't avoid harm, you should minimize the harm. Like a doctor who has to choose between making a procedure A or B, both are harmful. The doctor picks the one which minimizes harm. Yes, I think he's seeking to do the best he can. Not always we can choose to not do harm at all. Sometimes it's really impossible. It's also very subjective to choose A or B. Not every doctor would agree with what does the minimum amount of damage. Yes, it also depends on the situation, of course. And that's why some would agree with that exact doctor and some would disagree. They would be arguing. But the doctor in the situation was probably in a lot of stress because if he, for example, didn't do anything, the patient can die. You're making very big statements. Does literally everyone deserve compassion? Until I don't know the person, their whole life, their full perspective, I think everyone deserves it. And I have my values, but by my values, I would rather kill one person that is doing harm to thousands of others. Yes, so these generally bad people, I understand them, but I don't agree with them. That I can say. So I think everyone does deserve some compassion, but not everyone is to be forgiven for their mistakes, we can say. But it's not a disagreement that harm should be avoided. It's a disagreement about what minimizes the harm. It's not a difference in a goal but in procedure. Yes. Even greedy, unjust people who commit genocide, who are blinded and have evil virtues. Everyone should be listened. I would like to understand everyone. And I don't say that what I think about everything is right. It's just my perspective. I would, if I got the decision, I wouldn't left the greedy, unjust, take genociders, those blind people, and just like they probably are just thinking wrongly because of their experiences, because of someone who told them this is the only way. So I can understand them, but I got my perspective that they are wrong. That they shouldn't have so much power to be able to execute such things. Yeah, I think everyone needs compassion. Doesn't mean I think killing to stop bigger harm is not justified. Like, if you need to kill a dictator to avoid bigger suffering, it's okay, but a dictator still has dignity. Like, you shouldn't torture them for fun, for instance. I'm just trying to exaggerate it a bit, saying things as justified and unjustified, good or bad reason, is still subjective and relative again. Yes, but we can say, like, generally genocide is bad. We can take this as a point for this exact moment, because we would have too many uncertain things, too many things that have a really wide range of perspectives that we would never be able to say anything actually. So yeah, exaggeration sometimes it's isn't that just what life is? Life is life, and there's nothing more to it. It got really heated here about this conversation because of difference in perspectives. I think we can all agree to disagree. Yes. to the point where we are exchanging our views on these things and not trying to actually kill each other like at some good Christmas dinner or something. I think it would be fine. We are trying to understand each other, to understand those perspectives, and the most important thing is we don't need to agree with each other, but I would like us all to understand certain perspectives. We can always have our points of views, even the strict ones. Not all of us need to be fully open-minded about everything and not have any specific opinion because someone thinks it's better to be like this. But understanding is, I think, like crucial in some way. We can believe in different values, we can believe in different perspectives. Yes. Thank you for saying this, because I would start telling kids around and around again in different forms, and I wouldn't at least try. Yes, we can at least try to understand each other's point of views. And my dears, please, at this point, can we, with this technical agreement and this session? I don't think anyone here is trying to convince the other of something. I'm glad about it, because it's the right way of speaking about such matters, especially since it is kind of theoretical mostly. Okay, so with this technically beautiful accent, I would like to end today's session, because it's really a lot, and if you would like to say more, to speak more about it, you can continue it on the Lighthouse on Discord. But for this session, I think it's just the right time to not exactly close the topic, but just to close this session and get some rest from this intense thinking. And you know what I mean. I'm sorry, I'm just so bad with words right now. I'm glad that we're here. I am glad for this interesting topics about sharing these perspectives between each other, and I hope everyone got from here something valuable, at least. Okay, thanks for today's stream. It was really a pleasure talking to you too. Hope you do have a good time outside the stream. Bye. For you too. I also hope you would have a great time, also both of you. So let's dim the lights and really thank you both. It was a nice time, and probably see you on Monday.